I just got an email from Acorns, and they are making major changes to how they're structuring their investment accounts. They're going to either force me to completely stop investing with them or pay 3 times more than I'm currently paying. This video will go over exactly what the changes are, what that means for anyone currently investing with Acorns, and give a little sneak peek of their promises for the future. Acorns has made a name for themselves by being the best investing app for beginners, hands down. The service is the easiest to use and is the most helpful out of anything else offered today. I think that the way they've made their app is incredibly streamlined. How you invest is super easy. You just pick one of their 3 subscription tiers, how aggressive or how conservative you want to be, deposit money, and that's it. You're done. Unlike a lot of popular investing apps nowadays, you did have to pay for the subscription. Thankfully, the fees have always been really low. $1, $3, or $5 per month. Totally doable for most of us. And they've always been those flat fees, so it's not like it's a percent of assets under management or something like that. It's really low and really simple. The investments themselves are built by experts that Acorns hired, and all you have to do, like I said, is just pick your risk level. So if you're kind of intimidated and you want to be really conservative, you just pick the one called conservative. I've been investing with the one that's the most aggressive, so I picked that one, and there's a few in between that spectrum too. Over the last year and a half that I've used Acorns, it's always been really easy to recommend. It's super simple, it gets you diversified right off the bat, and I really like the service. All of that has been packaged up for a really low price, but that's now changing. Acorns gives a handful of reasons as far as why they're upping their price, and so I'll review those now. They say that since they've started in 2014, they've never raised their price, but they've added more features, added more staff, and they've added more cost. Their second justification is that this added revenue that they're going to get from making us pay more money is so that they can add more services that we as their users actually want. To me, this is a little bit questionable because those of us that are affected by this clearly want to only pay $1 per month, so here's hoping the changes will be worth it. Their final reason for the bump in price is that most of new users signing up now are picking that $3 or $5 per month tier anyway. So they just deduce that, hey, most people must want those features. They don't even want the $1 per month account anyway. And personally, I can't help but notice that this change is happening right before they plan to go public as a company. This is Acorns. They've filed for an IPO and they're going to do that towards the end of this year. And my hypothesis is that this whole price bump is just to make the most of this upcoming IPO. They've got most of their revenue coming from subscription fees. If they can jack up those fees a little bit more, get another bump in earnings, that looks really good on paper to anybody who's evaluating them to invest in them. Then maybe when that happens, they get a more favorable initial stock price, they get even more money to keep, to have, to buy a yacht with, or to actually put into the business. So my guess is that they decided to roll the dice and gamble with the backlash that they're probably going to get from this, and it's a marketing move overall to raise a ton of money later this year. But we'll see. What are the changes that are happening? Until now, Acorns has had 3 levels of subscription tiers and the corresponding fees to choose from. Acorns Lite is their $1 per month level, and it's a taxable brokerage account, and that's it. Very simple, very clean, and enough for most people to actually get started investing. I'm a huge fan of just getting started because I think that critical first step kind of breaks the seal, and now you're an investor. Now it's easy to get another account, to invest more, to do all these other positive things, and you got started. That's the whole impetus for all of this. I've personally used this tier because I already have retirement accounts elsewhere, and why would I pay for more than I need? It's been perfect. The next tier is $3 per month, and it's called Personal, and that gives you both the taxable brokerage account like in the $1 level, and it gives you access to retirement accounts in the form of IRAs. It also gives you access to Acorns Spend, which is like their checking account, debit card combo, which of course links to your investment account, and then you can do their whole roundup thing and do that whole jazz. The final subscription level is the most expensive, and it's all inclusive. So it's got everything from the previous 2, plus it's got access to investment accounts for kids. Per that email that I got today from Acorns, the rug that's being pulled out from under us is that cheapest $1 per month Acorns Lite option that I have been using. For me, it's always been the easiest one to recommend because who can't afford $1 per month? If you can afford to invest, you can afford $1 per month, and now it's going to be completely canceled. Going forward, the only options anyone will have to invest with Acorns is the $3 or $5 per month level. That's it. And they assured me twice in the email that I got that I wouldn't have to take any action and they will do all the upgrade for me. Well, thanks guys. Of course, you can take more money from me. I can trust you to do that. But there is a way to not have to pay more. They say right here in the email that if you're having economic hardships, to contact them by September 21st when this is going to roll out, and they will honor your request. If you do click on it, then the link leads you to this website where you just enter the same email that you have registered with Acorns, and then they apparently don't bump up your price. I'm not experiencing economic hardships, which I'm so thankful for, so I won't be emailing them. What options do we have now that this change is happening? Well, I think that we have 3 possible options. First, we can say adios to Acorns, and we can just move our money elsewhere. If you're just using like the taxable account only, and you don't want to pay more, if you don't want access to IRAs, and you're not willing to lie about having an economic hardship, just go start investing with a different service. There's a bunch of other ones out there that are totally free. If anyone comes to me and wants to invest without fees and wants to pick their own investments, I always mention M1 Finance. It's still really cleanly designed. It's not quite as easy as Acorns, but it's close. It has no monthly fees, and you pick a mix of things to invest in by creating your own pie, or you can pick from the ones they already have for you to choose from. I made a 2-year review video about M1 Finance that's linked in the description for you, so you can go check that out if you're interested. The second option is we can do nothing and just get bumped to the $3 per month tier. This isn't a horrible option for most people. I think a lot of people could probably use an IRA if they're just using a taxable account. An IRA is great. And an extra $2 per month or $24 per year is likely not actually going to make a significant difference to most people. So if you want to keep using Acorns, that's totally an option. Our third choice is to just go all in on Acorns. Yeah, I said it. If we're sticking around anyway, and you're interested in setting up kids with investment accounts, why not just condense it all into Acorns? That $5 per month family plan adds the option for custodial accounts that you can open for your kids, and these specifically are UTMA or UGMA accounts. And what that means is that legally, it is the kid's money, but you are the custodian over it until they become adults. So they can't really make decisions about it. It's like totally under your control until they get old enough. And the money that goes into these accounts is after tax dollars, and you can invest up to $15,000 per year, per parent, per kid. So think of it this way, like if you're single and you have a kid, you can invest $15,000 per kid. If you're married, you can invest $30,000 per kid per year, which that's a lot of money. Unfortunately, with these kinds of accounts, you don't get really great tax benefits like you do personally with like an IRA or like you would with a 529 college savings plan. The trade-off is that with this money, you can do whatever you want with it. There's no limitations. It's not like specifically for education. You can do anything with it. And I think the obvious use case would be if you want to have money invested for your kids for purposes other than college savings, could be really good. Technically, you can always just have an investment like in your own name and have it kind of earmarked for your kids, like have that intention in mind. But legally putting it into their name like this can avoid the messiness that comes from you dying or from there being some kind of like argument or dispute or whatever. This way, it's all lined up legally and in your name. So the value of having a custodial account really is there. So what do I plan to do? Well, I'm actually kind of surprised at how annoying this is to me. I didn't think that this would be that annoying to me, but I just don't like that it's being forced on us and being forced fairly quickly. Just paying another $2 per month is really not that big of a deal, but it is pretty annoying. So my plan is to keep my account with Acorns exactly as it is today. I already have a Roth and a traditional IRA elsewhere, and so I'm not even going to use the one with Acorns. I'm just going to stick with the taxable, but I like Acorns enough and appreciate the ease of it enough to just keep the account. As far as their spend account, which is like the checking and debit card, I already have plenty of forms of payment in other debit cards and in credit cards and other stuff, so I don't really plan on using that either. But actually, now that I think about it, I am currently testing 2 other new schnazzy debit cards. So for the sake of science and making a future video about it, I could be swayed into testing this one alongside those other 2. It's not a bad idea. Let me know if you'd be interested in seeing the review on the Acorns Spend debit card, especially compared to a couple of other popular contenders, namely Yada and M1 Finance. So those are the big changes. What do you think about it? Leave me a comment below. Are you switching? Are you staying? Are you going all in? Or are you doing some other option I didn't even think of? Let me know. If you are here and you have deep hatred welling in your heart, then double tap the dislike button. If not, then present the like button with a gentle bullish caress, and I'll see you next time. Bye.